You're probably familiar with ecobee as the industry leader in smart thermostats. I've reviewed the ecobee 3 as well as the ecobee 4, and they both blow away the competition. But with this product, they're stepping into a new category of smart lighting. This is the Switch Plus by ecobee. And although it's a fantastic smart light switch, the little plus in its name is a bit of an understatement. It's not just Alexa enabled, but it has Alexa built in, just like the ecobee 4. Their goal is to provide voice control throughout your entire house, and what better place to do that than the light switch? ecobee was kind enough to send me this device for a review, and in this review we'll go over its features and help you decide if it's the right smart light switch for you. Let's get started with the most interesting aspect, and that's the Alexa integration. If you're familiar with Amazon's Echo, this is a very similar experience. You can ask Alexa questions, set timers, buy things, play games, and even stream music. Alexa, what's pi to 10 digits?
The first 10 decimal digits of pi are 3.14159265535.
It features far-field microphones as well as cloud-based wake word verification, just like the ecobee 4. That means that if you're in a relatively quiet house, Alexa can hear you even if you're on the other side of the room. And if the Switch Plus thinks you said Alexa but isn't quite sure, it'll send that small voice sample over to Amazon's powerful cloud servers and let them decide. All that takes place in a matter of milliseconds. And if you're paying attention during the intro of this video, that actually happened. Because it's hardwired into the walls, it no longer feels like you're talking to a device on a bookshelf or on a counter, but rather that you're talking to your house. And as you install more switches throughout your house, that idea is propagated even further. It features Amazon's ESP for spatial awareness, so that if you have multiple Alexa devices throughout your house, only one responds. Alexa, what day of the week was February 3rd, 1978?
February 3rd, 1978 was a Friday.
The only real downside here is that this is a third-party Alexa device and will therefore lag slightly behind on new features. As Amazon creates new features for Alexa, they're introduced first to their own devices and then usually made available to third-party products like the Switch Plus and ecobee 4. ecobee has already proven their eagerness to adopt these new features with the ecobee 4, and so you can expect as Amazon creates new features and releases them for third-party products that the Switch Plus would adopt those very quickly as well. The two biggest limitations currently, in my opinion, are ho-home audio synchronization and Amazon's drop-in intercom feature. Both of those would be outstanding feature to have available on each room's light switch. Granted, the music quality is not that great, but for background music, like you'd expect at a restaurant or a dentist office, it's fine. The intercom feature, however, would be outstanding if you had a Switch Plus in each bedroom and all the main living areas. If you'd like to take a break from Alexa, there's a hardware mute button in the top left-hand corner, and the Switch Plus lights up red, letting you know that it's muted. If you're the type that leaves Alexa muted most of the time, then just know that the red light's not going away. The ecobee 4 had that problem when it first launched as well, and later through a software update, they changed it so that after a few seconds, the red light goes away, and you're just left with a red microphone icon on the screen, letting you know that it's muted. So maybe they'll figure out a less obtrusive option here as well. To the right of that is a hardware button for summoning Alexa, or interrupting her if she's talking. It works the same way as just saying Alexa. As a smart light switch, it has a lot of the features that you would expect. Like all ecobee products, it works well with all the big name home automation players. It works with Alexa, Apple's HomeKit, Google Assistant, Samsung SmartThings, and If This Then That. So voice control and home automation are covered. You can also control the light through the ecobee app, even when you're not at home with no need for an extra hub device. And thankfully, there's the simplistic option of just pushing the button. But the most used option will be the built-in motion and light sensors. The Switch Plus can be set to automatically come on when you enter a room and then turn off minutes after you leave. And because of the light sensor, it can also be set to only come on if it's dark in the room. If you have it connected to an outside light, it can come on at dusk and go off at dawn, and all of this is configurable in the ecobee app. Speaking of the ecobee app, I've been testing the beta version for a while now because of the built-in Switch Plus functionality, and I'm happy to report that it also has an upgraded interface for the thermostats as well. I mentioned in my ecobee 4 review how the app was slow to launch and lagged at times, and thankfully that's all gone here. The app is super responsive and much easier to use now. There's even a small LED nightlight at the base of the switch for adding some soft lighting to the room when the main light isn't on and it's dark. You can get creative and leverage the light, motion, and temperature sensors of the Switch Plus to trigger HomeKit scenes or to tie into other smart home devices. The most obvious use case here is leveraging the Switch Plus as a remote sensor for your ecobee thermostat. The temperature and motion sensors are part of ecobee's next generation sensor technology and are not only more accurate, but can also report environment changes more frequently since battery life isn't a concern. Unfortunately, that functionality isn't live yet, so I wasn't able to test it, but ecobee's targeting a release date of this June, and that'll be pushed out via an automatic software update. They also have some other advanced options in the works, one of which is an autopilot mode that randomly turns the lights on and off when you're not at home to simulate occupancy. As I've said many times in other reviews, that's the beauty of these internet-connected devices. All the necessary hardware is already in place, and future functionality will be pushed out via automatic software updates for years to come at no additional cost to you. For compatibility, the main concern they stress is that you have a white neutral wire you can use, and that it be a single mode switch and not a two-way or three-way switch. Installation is as easy as turning off power, removing the old light switch, twisting the appropriate wires together, shoving everything back into the opening, screwing in the Switch Plus, and turning the power back on. There's also a step-by-step picture and video tutorial right in the ecobee app. There's an ecobee branded faceplate included, but thankfully it's the standard dimensions of a normal rocker style switch, so if you have upgraded decorative plates, those will work. Or if you'd like to use Switch Plus at a location that has multiple switches, you can easily pick up a light cover that can accommodate that for a couple of bucks at Lowe's or Home Depot. And that brings me to price. If you're going to install these things throughout your entire house, they have to be reasonably priced. The Switch Plus retails for $99 in the US, and while that isn't cheap, you have to consider what you're getting. A smart light switch that supports Apple HomeKit runs for about $40 to $50. Add in the remote sensor capabilities for the thermostat at $30, and an Amazon Dot for the Alexa capabilities at $50, and suddenly the $99 price tag seems like a deal. If you're looking to add more Alexa functionality to your home and are interested in smart lighting, then I'd strongly consider looking at the Switch Plus. If you're an ecobee thermostat user and those things are true, then this is a no-brainer. One glaring omission here is that the Switch Plus isn't dimmable. ecobee went this route so they could achieve their vision of whole home voice at an accessible price and a reasonable amount of time. It's not a deal breaker, but it does limit the functionality you have available to you. I have a Haiku smart light with a light sensor that's able to dim and brighten the lights as the ambient light changes in the room. Granted, that light is twice as expensive as the Switch Plus, and all the hardware, including the light and the sensors, are all made by Haiku, which makes it easier for them to achieve. But it would have been nice if ecobee could have figured out a way to include dimming functionality in this first generation product. I'm glad to see ecobee branch out into another product line. With their partnership with Amazon on Alexa and their remote sensor capabilities of their thermostats, this really makes a lot of sense. The presentation and hardware is beautiful, just like you'd expect from ecobee. And having these devices built into the walls with the ecobee 4 and the Switch Plus really does change the experience for me. You don't really think, where's Alexa, but rather you just talk and she responds from whatever device is closest. If you're the type that unplugs your Echo just to be sure that Amazon's not listening in when you don't want them to, this clearly isn't a device for you. If you have any questions I didn't cover, feel free to leave those in the comments. If you've enjoyed this in-depth review, then please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching. Alexa, say goodbye.
Goodbye.